Tonight, newly released emails reveal that Trump administration officials at the Department of Interior either hid or ignored data showing some environmental protections were actually working at two national monuments. The monuments are in Utah, and last year, President Trump erased some environmental protections at both, easing the way for the federal lands to be opened up for business, mining and logging. With the details, CNN senior investigative correspondent Drew Griffin.
Shortly after President Obama established Bears Ears National Monument and expanded the Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument, the government noted positive change on the protected federal lands. Tourism was up, vandalism in the protected areas was down, and paleontologists, amateur and professional, were making incredible finds. A Department of Interior memo outlined it all in May of 2017. Showing just how well the protections were working. It is reasonable to conclude that visitation would be less if the lands had not been designated as a monument, the memo read. More vandalism would have likely occurred. And one region of Grand Escalante contains a plethora of paleontological specimens. 12 new dinosaur species have been discovered since designation. There was one big problem. All of that good news did not fit in with President Trump's decision to strip away protections and open up those protected lands to business. So what did Interior Department do with all that information? Well, they buried it, and it was hidden until now. By accident, all of this was recently revealed, including the proposed redactions, in an errant document dumped to a Freedom of Information Act request by the Center for Western Priorities.
Oh, it's obvious. When you look at the documents, there are big red outlines, big boxes around what they tried to redact. It was clearly just an error on the production end where they failed to actually hit the final redact button in Adobe Acrobat.
The Department of Interior tried to recall the documents, but it was too late, allowing Aaron Weiss and other environmental watchdogs to see exactly how Trump's politically appointed Interior Department staff was working.
It shows that all of their claims around the National Monuments Review were false. Secretary Zinke said there was no outcome that was preordained. These documents prove definitively that the outcome was preordained and that Secretary Zinke's political appointees were going out of their way to hide information that didn't make their case. This really is incredibly embarrassing for the Interior Department.
In another example, this one involving offshore protections, Interior didn't want the public to see this document about a protected area off the coast of New England that says these areas support fisheries for a variety of species of fish and shellfish, providing income and employment throughout the northeastern United States. A newly released email says this section, while accurate, seems to me to undercut the case for the commercial fishing closure being harmful. I suggest in the attached deleting most of it for that reason.
You shouldn't be able to redact basic facts just because you don't like those basic facts.
Drew, has the Department of Interior explained why they were trying to hide this information? I mean, is there some legitimate purpose?
Anderson, there are rules that allow some redactions to take place, but we have no idea why the Department of Interior would delete things like tourism is up or dinosaur bones were found. The Interior Department so far hasn't responded to any of this.
And it's not the first time that Ryan Zinke and his staff have failed to disclose or to hide information from the public.
Yep, this comes actually on the heels of another CNN report which found Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke not fully disclosing meetings on his public calendar. And we also revealed in a CNN investigation how the now fired EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt also deliberately altered his public calendar to hide meetings and events from the public. It's a troubling pattern that one government ethicist told me today. Looks like these Trump appointees are trying to create their own version of reality. Anderson?
Yeah, so much for transparency. Drew, thanks very much.